So then the Quran is confirming the Bible, but we need to use those parts of the Bible to confirm to argue for the Quran.
Yes.
That's exactly what it's saying. Yeah.
That's exactly, yes.
He says, if the Prophet fabricated revelation in my name, then we would have severed his aorta. But we know that Prophet could never do that. The Prophet could never lie about revelation. We know this is a common rhetorical tool that the Quran
uses.
Wait a minute. Right? Didn't he say towards the end of his death that he feels his aorta being
severed? Obviously we would disagree with that. I don't want to deviate from this. But the point is,
he's like, you got me.
We would disagree. We would disagree with this, even though it's exactly what our sources say. But we don't, as you can see, we don't care what our sources say. That's welcome to Islam.
So do you know the different words that are used between the Quran and the Hadith there?
Was it abhar and wateen?
So one of them says abhar, the other one says wateen. So these aren't the identical terms being used.
I've been hearing this response for years. They're in the Muslim sources. You either have their synonyms, and because guess what? We have aorta and we have life artery. You can call it either one. They mean the same thing. It's like saying, oh, but we got two different terms, H2O and water. So we're talking about different things. Well, no, H2O is talking about water. It's like saying Superman and Clark Kent. Okay, you're talking about the same person there. It's like saying Samuel Clemens and Mark Twain. Yeah, that's the same person. Yeah, you can have different words for the exact same thing. As far as I recall, when I looked this up in the past, they're either treated as synonyms or one is a section of the other. One is a part of the other. None of that helps.
There's nothing historically verifiable that I agree with you on that will be a historical testament to Jesus, a saying that contradicts Islam. I don't believe there's anything.
You added a qualifier there. You added
I don't believe there's
verifiable. You added that qualifier, but that's not what the Quran is saying. It doesn't say we're confirming what's historically verifiable.
It's confirming what is true. That's the point.
Okay, but then but it's also correcting things, right?
Yes.
So then the Quran is confirming the Bible, but we need to use those parts of the Bible to confirm to argue for the Quran.
Yes. That's exactly what it's saying. Yeah.
That's exactly yes.
No.
Oh, yes.
Hold on. If I'm
How is that?
I mean, just imagine.
Poor IP.
Yeah, IP. You could be like this. Okay, so what you're saying is, in order to know that Islam is true, we first need to assume that Islam is true. Just take it for granted that Islam is true, and therefore it's only confirming the parts that agree with Islam. And then we're supposed to use those parts that agree with Islam to then conclude that it's true, which is exactly what we had to assume from the beginning. That's what you're saying, right? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's brilliant. Don't call it fallacious. Don't call it fallacious. Don't say I'm fallacious here.
If you, O prophet, are in doubt about these stories that we have revealed to you, then ask those who read the scriptures before you. Truth has certainly come to you from your Lord, so do not be one of those who doubt.
So first, you agree with me that the Quran here is using a conditional if, an impossible hypothetical to emphasize the point.
Hypothetical.
You wouldn't say that
it's impossible, but it's a conditional.
Why is it impossible?
Did you see that? Do you agree with me that the Quran is using an impossible conditional?
Yeah, so there's other sections where the Quran makes it clear that prophets doing major sins. But then the Quran says impossible hypotheticals to emphasize this point.
It doesn't, by the way.
But prophets can't commit major sins. I'd explain the satanic verses, sport. Yeah. Muhammad delivered the satanic verses. That's shirk. Not only did he commit shirk, he encouraged his followers to commit shirk and agreed with all the polytheists that they can all pray to three pagan goddesses. So Muhammad committed the worst possible sin there is. Where are you getting this idea prophets can't commit major sins? Your prophet committed the absolute worst sin.
Yeah, and same with Abraham and according to the Quran.
Yeah, committed shirk.
He's calling the sun his Lord. And it's so funny seeing their explanations for that.
And the moon, he called the moon and the stars. And
and they're like, oh, he was just mocking them. He wasn't actually, it was play shirk. It wasn't actually real shirk. He was just, so like, it's so funny because they love to say this. And like Chris said, there's nowhere in the Quran that says that prophets can't commit major sins. Nowhere in the Quran does it say that.
Yeah, I think he was just saying, hey, Than's pretty new to this, and IP, he's only been dealing with this stuff for a couple of years, so they're not gonna really know if I just make up a bunch of stuff and roll with it. Yeah, great.
He's saying that doubt would be a major sin. When the companions found out about the different, ahruf, didn't that cause obey?
Yeah.
Major doubt.
Yep.
So it's a major sin according to Dean, a major sin.
And I guess when Muhammad thought that he was possessed after getting his first revelation, that was a horrible, terrible sin.
By the way, this impossible conditional, he thinks that by putting terms together and sounding clever that it exists. That discussion doesn't exist anywhere in the exegesis of that verse saying it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, if you wanted to say like some Muslims have said, okay, yeah, but Muhammad didn't doubt. That's one thing. If you're saying that this is using the form of the word that is the impossible conditional, okay. Sad that none of your commentators thought about that. And here we are 14 centuries later when, once again, Dean Responds actually figures out what no other Muslims have ever figured out. Thank you. Thank you, Prophet Dean.
He's saying that because there's two different words being used, they can't be referring to the same thing. And we're going to show that the two examples that he gave in 1094 and then the question 6944, where that uses two different words for if as well. But we'll get into that after this.
There's the word abhar that Muhammad used.
Lane's lexicon.
When he said that his aorta has been cut. That's in the hadith. There's the aorta here. That's the abhar part.
Huh.
And that's the wateen here, which is a synonym. The aorta.
And it's funny because it even gives an example in the dictionary.
Qata abhara.
And look at how it's worded in the hadith.
Which is what Muhammad said, exactly the same. And it means it severed his aorta.
Yeah.
And this is from sunnah.com. And also they translated it as aorta. So they're all Muslims, by the way.
And we have a medical dictionary that's English, Arabic, authoritative, modern, but we also have classical sources as well. But I just want to show you how it's used even today in Arabic. Yep. So we're zooming in on the page here. This is the page. We're zooming in on it.
And there's at the top here in that medical dictionary, aorta, it lists al-abhar and al-wateen, which is, so they're synonyms.
Yep. And then even another dictionary as well that is, again, it's modern, but you have both used there as well. So this whole impossible thing, we can cover that real quick too. So because sometimes Muslims will take a different angle and they'll say grammatically, like when this structure is used where it says fa'in, like that, so if, that this is the grammatical impossibility. So if this, when you say fa'in, or when you say so if, this is grammatically an impossible condition, if you think that that's what that means, okay, let's use that same exact word in different verses in the Quran. Watch where you would get if you say it's impossible.
Hang on, guys, just to be clear, you heard it here, guys. When you have this formulation here, it's it's impossible. Talking about impossible. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got that.
Yeah. So the word you want to hear is fa'in. So whenever you hear us saying that or in, but we're going to use fa'in as well because we're going to the whole construction.
So fa is just so.
Yeah. Fa just means so.
So just think of in as in and out. In is what they think is the impossible if. Here it says wa in kuntum ala safarin. If you are on a journey, so apparently it's impossible for anyone to be on a journey. Okay?
And you cannot find a scribe, right?
Then a security deposit should be taken.
And if fa'in
amina ba'dukum ba'da, if one of you trusts another.
So no one can entrust another, according to Dee's response. No one. Hey, thank you, Dee's. You're offering powerful stuff. By the way, everyone paying attention. I hope you're getting the main takeaway that these guys will make up absolutely anything. They will lie. They do not care even slightly. They'll make up something, and they don't care what damage, what the fallout's going to be. They don't care. Oh, okay. This is saying that if Muhammad's in doubt, that he should go to the people of the book. Well, we don't want to go with that because that would obviously mean that the book is as good as gold and it's an authority over the Quran. We can't allow that. So we're going to say it's impossible. This is an impossible. This is the language of impossibility. Okay, let's just look at how the Quran uses this.